So, okay, hang on.
Do you know what you're going to ask?
Why are you laughing? I have no idea what I'm going to say.
Okay, it's a good
You ready?
Yeah.
So, here I am. We're with Cherisse. So, perfect. We did what we did the other day. I forget what day we did Rich's podcast, but we did the sound check. We did all this and all that. And then the same two guys have turned out to hit the bag. But it's okay. We should have it maybe sussed. I don't know. We'll try. If it doesn't work, we can always do it again. So I'm here with Cherisse. She's here now. Finally got her on the couch. She's been a bit shy to get on there. She had to go do her hair or whatever, take a shower or whatever. Yeah, but we've got her. We pinned her down. She's here. So Cherisse. So how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You just finished training, you say?
I did.
So you had a good session. You said it was a bit tough today.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
I think
a lot.
I think the reason is you want to start fighting soon, so we have to make you a little tougher, make you a little bit realize if you're going to fight, there's a little bit of a grind. You know what I mean? So, tell us your story. We're in a martial art game here, so I think, if I remember rightly, you didn't start your martial arts with us here.
No.
You've been doing martial arts a little longer than that, so I'm not too sure of the story. So tell us when you why as well, from a female perspective. What brought you to the martial art? Why did you have it in your mind to go try a class or wanting to go down that kind of route?
I actually don't know why I started with martial arts. Like, I don't know what my reasoning at the time was, because I started with kickboxing fitness with an old student of yours, David Hall.
Oh, okay.
So I did that for about a year, and then we took a trip to Thailand, and then I discovered Muay Thai. And then when I came back, I started at Nosy Academy, and then I realised I wanted to be like Ronda Rousey. Do not judge me. And then, yeah, Dave said I should try and learn under you, or try and get hold of you. And that's that. That's how I came to you.
Okay, so you just started with in a gym, like a bit of fitness, so I want to get in shape.
It wasn't even in a gym. It was in like, I think it's Hatch End Art Centre. It was just a room in there. That's where it started. And then it went to Norfolk Park, and then they moved to a bigger place, but I never started there. I just stopped there.
Okay, but it was for fitness. It wasn't for like, I want to learn how to defend myself or any of that kind of thing. But it was just for fitness, get in shape.
It became more about self-defense when I started grappling.
Okay.
Because I realised that's the kind of positions you could end up in if you end up in a bad situation. So then I kind of put two and two.
Yeah, I mean, I always advocate like grappling for girls. Like, I just think it's a great skill to have if you can manipulate someone's body, and at least understand. Not necessarily, okay, I can beat every guy up in the room, but at least understand and appreciate what it takes to move someone and how to move them and how to move your own body. I think grappling is really good for females as well. So, so how long was you studying Muay Thai for until you made sort of a conscious effort to maybe think, right, I'm going to try some grappling and some MMA kind of thing?
It wasn't even 6 months. I think it was like 2, maybe 3 months. And then, yeah, tried, I think you had a beginner's 6-week MMA course as well.
That's right, yeah, that's the first time
that was
first and last time we've ever done
MMA.
it. We're not doing that again.
My friend went to that. She's like, never again, because I tried armbarring her like one whole class.
Okay. So that was your first sort of thinking of sort of venturing into the mixed martial arts. You've done all the Muay Thai first. Did you compete in Muay Thai or anything like that?
Only 3 years later.
Okay, so you didn't.
I didn't. There was no plan to compete.
And you first sort of discovered the Muay Thai in Thailand. Yeah. So was the trip to Thailand just like, I want to go Thailand travel, or was it organised like did Dave organise it to go through the gym or something like this?
He organised it, so it was like a group of us from the fitness class that went, and the idea was to see how Muay Thai is.
Yeah.
And that's how I went, because him and his missus, they were in the intermediate side of it. So the rest of us were just in beginners. So it was learning knees and elbows, and just, like, I loved it.
And where did you go? Did you go Phuket? Did you go
Phuket,
the standard
Tiger Muay Thai?
Tiger Muay Thai. But it wasn't like it is now. Was it as big as it was?
No,
It's smaller.
this is when I think they just started doing MMA over there, but I never went to the grappling classes. I never went to the MMA classes. It was purely just Muay Thai.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little different. Muay Thai in Thailand's a little. It's. I wouldn't say it was necessarily tougher, but there's more.
Conditioning.
Like, a lot of people understand it, and there's a lot of people doing it. It's like their football, right? It's as big as, like, you can. If I took a football out on the high street here, most people would know what I'm doing. If I kicked the ball at them, they would kick it back. So it's the same sort of thing in Thailand, I think, but with Muay Thai.
Well, they actually love soccer. Well, they call it soccer over there.
But there's fights every day of the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's
you can fight every
day
week if you wanted to.
Yeah. And a lot of the Thais do, right? That's how they make their living, get 300, 400, 500 fights under their belt. Right. So, and then the MMA side of things, I'm guessing you just saw, was you watching like the UFC or anything like that to sort of discover Ronda Rousey or any of that kind of thing?
It actually started with Gina Carano when
so
she went against Cyborg.
Oh, so you was watching it back in the day,
yeah.
at the beginning of the...
But I started with her history, so I saw her and I was like, oh my god, she's amazing. And then I watched her previous fights, and then it kind of linked onto Cyborg, and then that's how I found.
Just Gina Carano, because I think especially with Ronda Rousey, I think Gina Carano, she gets sort of missed as one of the pioneers of women's MMA. She gets missed because people forget because she's not fighting anymore and all that kind of thing. But she was tearing it up.
As far as I'm aware, she stopped when she lost to Cyborg. So that didn't really help. But then it's kind of strange how Cyborg also got missed. No one really cared about her. It was still always about Ronda Rousey.
Well, I think the problem with Cyborg is no one wanted to fight her because she's such a beast.
And the steroid thing.
And the whole, like, because she missed weight. And I think, as bad as it sounds, I just don't think, because if you remember, there's a video of, like, I think it might be Ronda Rousey and Dana White having like a meeting, not a meeting, but like they passed each other in the street, and she said something to him about getting women's MMA and UFC, and he kind of went, never. Yeah, I'm sure he said something like this, like never, it's never going to happen. Not going to have women fighting in the UFC, because it's still, as much as, like, you know, everyone's free thinking, there's still a little bit of stigma at that time about women fighting. Like, I remember my show here in Watford, I think, if my memory serves me correctly, we were the first show in the UK to have a female pro female MMA fight as a main event. And I think we had at one time we had 3 fights on the card, all female. And it's normally, like, there's 1 fight, there's maybe 2 at a push, but we pushed 3 and we had one of them as a main event. And everyone's like, and I was super scared because I have a local kid, I had Scott fighting as a co-main event, yeah? So he's sold all the tickets, there's a lot of people there for him. And I was really worried that no one would stick around because the 2 girls that were fighting, one of them had just come off Invicta and needed another win to get back on it, and the other girl was from France. It's like a judo champion, but also getting into MMA. And so really, both of them didn't really sell like a bunch of tickets. So I was super worried that no one would stick around for the fight. But everyone stuck around, and it was an amazing fight. It was such a cool fight. The girls are vicious. Yeah, girl fights are vicious, man. You know what I mean? So I think it's great. I think it's great to see the opportunity the girls get in the female MMA. I love watching the girls fight. It's great. And in saying that, going back to the beginning, you're saying you had a hard session today training. This because you're saying now you want to venture in to fighting in MMA.
I plan to compete next year.
Oh, so again, why? What's going through your mind? Thinking, why do you want to? Why would you want to do that?
Just want to test myself, and I've always wanted to do it. It's just having the courage or the guts to do it, because it's a lot to get over. You put a lot of pressure on yourself, and you think there's a lot more pressure from the team and everyone, when it's not like that. It's what you put on yourself. So I want to overcome it. Because
you've competed now in Jiu-jitsu?
Yep.
A few times. Did you compete as a white belt and you competed at blue belt as well?
Both, yeah.
And because you're my first female blue belt, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of funny, right? And I think we have a couple more coming, but right now you're the first. So yeah, put that on your CV. Yeah?
At least no one could take that away.
But yeah, but that's cool. I mean, like you said, you come to the gym doing the 6-week program. You stuck around. How long have you been training with us now?
4 years.
4 years?
Full time since you started here, so the 1st of November.
So what keeps you coming? What keeps you coming training?
I don't know, it's addictive. And like, when you have good days, you're like, yes, I nailed it. And then when you have bad days, it's like, right, I need to work on that so I can beat them next time.
And I remember asking a couple of the other girls here, because a lot of the guys don't get it. Yeah, they just think, the girls are coming there, so whatever. But you're just another, person on the team, person coming to train. But what I always find fascinating with girls or females coming training is that, like, it's quite a thing to do. It's quite you could build it up, because I remember we had one girl that used to train with us in Harrow. I mean, we used to have like a separate like female pad class that a couple of the guys used to run, and I'm not too sure with women or female only classes. I'm not too sure, because I mean here it's not really that possible, because we have like 5 girls, 4 girls or whatever. So but don't see sometimes I see the advantages of like keeping it separate, right? Because it would maybe bring more girls in.
Definitely.
But then I see the disadvantages of, well, you need to be able to handle different body types and different people. I get both sides of it. But like we used to have a girl that used to train with us. She used to do the pad class, a female pad class. Then she kind of thought about, I want to do a little bit more. So the Scott who was teaching the class, come and train all the other classes, whichever one you want. And it would take her, she would pull up outside the gym, and it would take her 20 minutes to sort of, right, I'm going in.
Yeah,
it would take her a few minutes to like think, right, I'm going in, do it. Because for a guy, sometimes, okay, I might be a bit nervous about, walking somewhere new, but you're going into a room pretty much most of the time full of dudes. And you're the only female there. I mean, my perspective is that I would, if you're a bit down on yourself, you know what I mean, like as a female, and you're a bit like insecure, go join a martial art club, because you're going to be the best looking girl there, right?
What, because you're the only
Because you're the only girl there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And so it's perfect, I think. No? So, but in seriousness though,
I'm not gonna lie.
What goes through your mind when you think, I'm gonna go roll with a bunch of dudes or fight or spar with a bunch of guys? How did you get over that? What did you do to just crack it and turn up all the time?
I'm not gonna lie. For at least 6 months, I dreaded coming to every single class. The first class I came to here, I stood behind the pillar. I was just like, I don't want to be here, but I'm here. I'm gonna do this. And you just have to throw yourself in there and hope for the best. Like, you're not gonna die there. Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? But it's just getting over it. You just have to do it. It's the only thing that I did, is force myself. And then after a while it got better. And once I started getting moves and nailing things. It was just, I don't know, it just became easier to come to class. Even now, I still get nervous coming to class if I've had a break. Because I just think, oh, they're going to be so much better than me. They're going to beat the absolute crap out of me. I don't know what I'm doing. I've forgotten everything I've learnt before. It's not like that. It's all in your head.
But you just calm through the first 10 minutes. You're in the swing of it. Done. No problem. But you went through a phase. Of just injuring everyone anyway, and beating up all the guys.
No,
and because you have your gum shield now, even says it on there, right? That nickname didn't really stick, which is good, right? Was it Thumbelina?
Thumbelina.
Which you broke Reese's thumb.
That was Sam's first day as well.
Yeah, you broke his thumb. What else? I mean,
okay, can I just say,
when I
didn't break his thumb. He threw me, and I landed where I landed.
Don't fix it. That's what he said.
Then he was mad at me. I didn't get a video or a picture. I'm I was panicking that your thumb was broke.
Yeah, but his thumb was out, so I had to quickly.
Yeah, he said it's still not. It's never going to be the same again.
Well, there you go. So, and did you injure some other people? I'm pretty sure you did.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure you bashed up a lot of guys. I'm pretty sure.
No, ball shots. Accidental ball shots.
You do kick
I don't mean to.
Do kick a few dudes in the plums.
I think my accuracy's got much better, but...
I don't think you kicked anyone in the plums today, though. This is good.
I don't think so. No. I think everyone's, wary of it.
So, with... when you compete in jiu-jitsu, no gi and gi?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm thinking of it. I'm recalling it now. So, you've had some tough comps as well, because, again, there's not a lot of girls involved in jiu-jitsu. Well, there is and there isn't, but... There's not, the trouble is there's not that many girls involved in jiu-jitsu, and then the girls that are involved in jiu-jitsu, that small amount, there's a smaller amount of them that are actually competing in jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you go to the tournaments, you see the same people all the time. But I remember did you only do gi or no gi there, or it was just no gi?
Where?
In the Harrow.
No, it's both. Gi and no gi.
But I had to leave.
No.
Was I better?
I think you were there.
Oh no, you. Yeah, I know. So you fought in the gi, but you fought the gi, and it was like an absolute. I'm guessing, because that girl was big.
Okay, I was slightly heavy, so it was the open weight category anyway. And
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There's not.
I'm going to lose weight.
There's not necessarily. You might. Okay, I'm going to lose some weight, but there's no one in that category. Because there's just not a lot of girls competing.
You end up having to move up.
Again, another good thing I always think with, especially with women's MMA, as soon as you say, right, I'm going to compete, as soon as you've done your first MMA fight, you're probably in the top 10, in the female rankings, in whatever weight division you're competing in. Because there's just not a lot of girls fighting. I'm not sure there may be one division that has 10 girls in that division, or more than 10, but I'm pretty sure if you spread it, and they're probably not even, they probably should be fighting in a different division. It's just that's the one where they're all in, so we're all there. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, there's not that many girls competing in. Again, there's not that many girls training MMA, and in that small portion of girls that are training MMA, there's less of them competing, right? So, again, another good thing, yeah? Top 10, yeah, I'm top 10. Bosh, no problem, right? Top 10 in the country, yeah, MMA, athlete. So that's another good thing you can put on your CV, yeah? Right? But, so going back to that tournament, again, that girl's big.
And she was 16 kilos.
Yeah, but I think she beat you before you even went in. Because I'm pretty sure you was like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, wasn't it? Because when you go do a jiu-jitsu tournament, I mean, what's your experience of the jiu-jitsu tournament? Because guys, everybody's walking around, sizing each other up. They stand next to each other, is in my category. You know what I mean? Do you get the same thing with the girls?
Some of the girls are like that. Some are just in the zone and they're jumping up and down, doing jumping jacks, warming up. Meanwhile, I'm just sorry. I'm just oh crap. So I just sit there, try and visualize things. But with these people around, it's quite quite difficult.
Because the jiu-jitsu tournament's kind of weird. Is this because we're all in the arena is a sports center, and
Yeah.
everybody's in there watching and competing. So you don't necessarily know who's competing, who's watching, and you're trying to listen for your name, and it's kind of chaotic.
It's nerve-wracking.
It's chaotic. When am I on? When am I on? And it's like, what? I've got an idea. I'm on over there, but then someone says, nope, you're on over there. Quick, you're on. Oh, and it's chaotic, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially when you can't see your coach. It's like, okay, you're over there. It's like, uh-oh, where's Dave? You're trying to signal as you're running over to the mat. It's just like, uh-oh.
But for me, that was a tough tournament because the first round was with her, right? And I think, wasn't it the beginning her mum was there giving it, oh, she hasn't lost a fight since she was 2. And she's been undefeated. And you was just...
I think that was my first comp as a blue belt, and I'd only been a blue belt for like a week. But
That's right.
I did the British as my first competition when I was a white belt, and she won the division. And the girl that I went against, I lost. So I was just like, wow, if she's got gold and the girl who didn't get gold smashed me, she's going to be impossible. So I had that in my head when I went to that competition. And when I saw her, I knew that she was in my division. I was just like, oh boy, this is going to be fun. But I think I fought her, then went against someone else, then fought her again. So I fought her like 3 times that day.
Yeah, so, all right, so you've already got it in your mind she's going to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
So this, again, I don't see that because it's going on in your own mind, right? Oh, a tournament we did way back, she did. So it's kind of complicated, like the things that you come up with in your mind right before competing. So you fought her first and she beat you, like points?
Yeah.
Many points?
I actually no, I think I fought her twice. No gi and gi. So when I did fight her, she beat me.
No, you beat her. You fought her 3 times. You fought her in the gi. She beat you on points, right? And there's only 3 of you in the division, I think. Yeah, if I remember. Then you fought the next girl.
And I beat her.
And you beat her. I forget how.
Points.
So then you're now fighting the same girl you fought in the beginning.
Who I lost
for the gold.
Yeah.
So right. So then you fight her.
I think I lost. Yeah, I did. I lost again.
Or did she fight? Yeah, I think you fought her again, and she won again on points.
A lot of points, by the way.
So the first fight, you got in your mind that previous to that, you both did another tournament. She beat a girl that beat you, and you was like, oh, and then she beat you. Yeah. So your idea of that she's going to beat you came true. She beat you. Then you got to fight her again. So not only now you got in your mind that she fought a girl that you fought in another tournament that beat you, and she beat her, so she's going to beat you. She did beat you, and now you got to fight her again. So what's going through your mind there?
Well, because I won the round before, and I didn't die when I did go against her and lost. I was like, okay, I'm going to try and work harder and try and work and get these points back. So I tried to focus on what I was doing and listen to the advice being screamed from the sides. Because before, I think, the first fight, I just panicked. So even though I could hear you, I couldn't put the two together. Like, my body just wasn't listening to what you were saying. So the third time, I did try.
But she beat you again?
Yeah.
On points again?
Mm-hmm.
So, and she was tough. She competed a lot, that girl. So you got silver in that division. So first comp as a blue belt, and you get your silver. But then... I think someone fighting that weekend in the evening. I think that's probably why I had to leave.
Oh yeah.
I had to leave, and someone was fighting that evening, Greece. So I was off, and we went to that. And then I get sent, and I'm like, how's everyone going? What's going on? Because there was the no-gi in the afternoon. Then they send me a video. Did you fight anyone else in that division?
No.
You just fought her. That was it.
And then we went to absolute. I did absolutes.
So you fought her in the no-gi in your division again?
Yes.
And what happened there? She beat you again?
I beat her.
No.
In no-gi I beat.
No, you fought someone else in your division. Because you had your actual category in the no-gi. And did you win that fight? You lost your division.
I got silver in my division, and in the absolutes.
In the no-gi?
In my division, there was only one person I fought, and that was her, because there was only 2 of us in that division.
Okay, so I then get sent a video fighting her. So what was going through your mind before that match? Because I'm going to try and recall the pattern. So the gi match you had with her first one,
Yep.
you going through your mind is that she's fought a girl that you fought in another comp that beat you, so she's going to beat you, and then she beat you. And then you fought her again with that playing out and the fact that she's just beaten you. So now you got to face her again the same day, having just beaten you twice in the gi. What was going through your mind then?
No-gi, I prefer no-gi. And I was just thinking, right, this is my thing. So let's see how she goes in no-gi. Because in gi, she used the gi a lot to throw me around. So I was thinking, if she doesn't have the gi, what's she going to grab hold of? And I know I'm quicker than her. So that, and I had Reese saying, you're going to smash her. You're going to take her goddamn arm. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that.
So how did the fight play out?
I took her arm.
Yeah, but what happened? You start off...
I was just trying to remember the training, really. Grips
Did you
stuff.
take her down? Did you grab her
I
leg?
did try. I was more active in no-gi than in gi. I don't know whether it's a confidence thing, but I seem to have more confidence in no-gi, even now. It's because I'm more free. I'm not restricted. But yeah, she was tough to get down. And then when she did try to take me down, I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to try and get out from under her before she sits on me again. Got hold of her arm, and I had kind of crossed my legs, and I think they were around her neck. And her coaches were telling her to roll, and all I could hear was Reese like, pull it, take her arm. I was like, okay, focus on that, just keep hold of the arm. She tried rolling out of it, and it's like she didn't know how to defend against an armbar. And then I got it. And then, yeah, she wasn't happy, her mum weren't happy.
So you won via submission. So how did that feel, having all of that other stuff that was playing in your mind? This girl beat you twice. You thought she was going to beat you. She did beat you twice, and then you fight her in the no-gi, and boom, you make the armbar.
Felt great. It's like beating, I don't know. It's like finally I got my win. All the effort meant something. So I did learn something, and it's like, well, that's how it was. I was just happy about it.
Gold medal.
And shocked. I was still shocked. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I remember because I think someone sent me the video, and I think Daryl was reffing, and he was like doing some funky sidestepping. Cotton Eye Joe, I think.
We were all over the place.
He was like all over the shop. That's cool. So you've tasted a bit of defeat in the grappling. You've tasted victory. So you've done also some like interclub Muay Thai. Because again, that's really, it's not, again, there's not much available in the way of like MMA, like there's the interclubs for MMA there's always like sparse amounts of girls doing it. It's like really a limited amount. So it's hard for you to go, well, I'll do an interclub, because you do have a different road than most guys. Because most guys come here, if they want to train and compete, I always tell them, right, go try compete in grappling, get an idea of what competing's about. Try the gi, try the no gi, which you've done. Mm-hmm. And then maybe try a little interclub that we do. Maybe we do an interclub here, or we go to another gym to do it. But that's kind of hard for you, because finding any girls to fight, not only one, we've got to find girls for you to fight, we've got to find girls at the same weight for you to fight. So it's very hard for you to take that first step. So we're probably looking at, if you want to start fighting in MMA, we're probably looking at just hitting straight into a show, into selling tickets, that kind of show, not just rocking up at a gym and doing like a little interclub. So what kind of is your thinking on that? Because you've been to it, because you come and support a lot of the guys when they fight, and that gives you a little bit of a feel for it, doesn't it? And you've cornered a couple of times now, so you've got a feel for what's the process of the day. You know, the weigh-ins, the process of, you haven't got in your mind it's all amazing backstage, and you've seen it all, so, and you still have an idea of, and still have a desire to do it. So what's your thinking? What do you think is gonna, like, how do you think it's gonna play out, like, when you do your first fight?
What do you mean?
Well, like, what do you have in your mind? What do you like when you desire to go and compete?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Because when I first fought, I didn't have a blueprint. It was just like, you want to do it, and it was like, okay. I don't know what I'd never experienced like cornering anyone or helping anybody. I'd never had anyone really that had done it before me, the same place. So it was, that place is not too nice. This place is good. That show's okay. I never had any of that. It was just sort of like, I had to learn sort of on the job. So do you have in your mind what the day's events, or how's it going to go? And you just sort of think, well, I'm not really thinking about that. I just want to compete. I don't know who it's going to be. Right, I just got an idea. I want to do it.
Pretty much the latter. Like, if I was to fight, I'd focus more on the training and on the actual competing, and just trust the team to deal with the rest of it.
Yeah, that's a good, because that's what I was going to say, because sometimes people think too much. Oh, I want to fight here. Oh, I want to fight there. It's like, all right, well, it might be that doesn't happen, but something else happens, another opportunity comes that we have to jump on, right? So sometimes not thinking about it too much is better, and just concentrate on training. And when you look ready, when you feel ready, sometimes those two things don't correlate, and then the opportunity that you might get might not correlate. So we have to adapt. But in my thinking, when you look good and look ready to compete, you know, you're lucky now that you have a good team here.
Oh, great team.
That we can see that happening and then put you in at a good time, so you're fully prepared. Because again, the female scene is wide open, and there's wide open and as soon as you compete, you can make a big impact, and you can maybe develop a good career of it, maybe, or at least test the water and see how it goes, you know? Because like I said, there's not many people doing it, so as soon as because like if a guy comes in and starts fighting amateur or whatever, fighting MMA, they can kind of go unnoticed because there's loads of guys doing it. But girls, there's not loads. So straight away, especially you girls, you know, there's another girl. Oh, there's another girl. You're going to be like, they're going to notice that you're in the mix.
It's exciting, especially when if I know there's a show with girls on it, I get excited about it because I want to see how they are, how they do. It's just like knowledge to me. So yeah, especially if they're my weight class, I like try and see how quick they are, how much stronger I need to get, or how strong they look, and compare. Sometimes it's not the best to compare, but it's a good starting point. Yeah,
maybe not. Yeah, you kind of measure yourself
Gauging.
To them, see what they're doing.
Yeah.
If you feel like, oh, I think I could beat her, I could maybe need to work on this and that. So yeah, that's not a bad thing, really. I mean, that's a standard thing to do, you know? And you're doing it correctly. You know, you're going to the shows, so you're making steps so you're not blind when you walk in. So if you think that's your next step, like to fight, then are you next year you want to, when you say you want to compete more, is that just MMA? You want to compete in the gi? You want to compete in no gi? What's the kind of thinking?
Pretty much everything.
Because it's like because you work, you have to work around everything, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? You like you have like a smart job, no?
I'm an engineer,
which is kind of funny.
Technician.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you got some brains over there, no?
It's possibly.
Who'd have believe it? Huh? Who'd have believe it?
I don't think the people I work with believe it. They're just like, really? Okay. But I do know how to do my job. And I fix X-ray machines, so I know how to do that. However, I don't know, it doesn't come across that I'm intelligent elsewhere. I mean, I go uni as well, and no one's just like, really? What are you doing? Health and beauty? No.
Health and beauty.
I'm not doing health and beauty.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all.
But so supposedly, yeah, on paper, you're a smart lady. So people will probably be surprised when you start to fight. Why are you doing it? What? So if you're gonna, okay, I'm gonna fight. I got, such and such a date. I'm fighting. And you say to your friends and everything. What's your answer going to be when they go, why are you doing this?
Why not? I like hitting people. I don't like getting hit, but that's the job. You're not supposed to get hit. You're supposed to dodge that. But no, I like testing my skills. I like rough play fighting, and fighting is like a very extreme version of that. So that's why. I get questions asked, why do I train, when I come in with a black eye. They're like, why did you do it? Why would you want to do it? And it's just like, well, why not? I'm keeping active, I'm not thinking about anything else. It calms me down, like especially jiu-jitsu, when you have to be in the moment, because if you're not, you're going to get tapped out. That's why. Yeah,
I mean, I always find with training, it's a good, for me, it's like, in fact, someone asked me the other day, don't you get sick of driving in to train, like to the gym every day, twice a day? And I'm like, no, it's my job, right? It's how I earn my living, and it never even crossed my mind. That's just what I have to do to get here. So it's like, it doesn't even cross my mind. It's kind of like, when you ask me it and I think about it, I think it's kind of weird to even think about it. It's like, if I want to go travel somewhere, get on a plane and go visit somewhere, I've got to pack a bag and book a ticket. That's just what you got to do. Otherwise, I can't be bothered to pack a bag and book a ticket. Well, guess what? You ain't getting on no plane, right? So I find the same thing. It's like, and I find it when you feel like that almost meditative state of that switch off, where you just sparring, nothing else really matters but what you're doing, you're not really thinking. I think once you feel that and understand it, it's a bug, and it keeps you coming and keeps you training, no? I mean, that's what it is for me. I think it's probably how it's ended up as it is. It's a job, like, per se, and we keep the team thriving. And do you get the same thing with that? I mean, does it help with your work? Does it help with like mental clarity or anything like that? I mean, how does that affect you that way? When I've trained and I feel like I've got smashed and I didn't do anything right, when I come away from it, I feel better. Like, even though I've got things I need to work on, but I can think, okay, this is what I've got to work on. You just end up coming away feeling good and being ready for the next session, so you can work on the things that you failed at. It's different each day, and it adapts with your mentality. And how is it coming into, how are the guys with you, like you, especially you is probably one of the only girls training with us like for a good couple of years. Like, we have a few more now, but you're still probably the first of like a few that have stuck around, because you've had quite a few come and stick around for maybe a few months or a year, and then off they go again. But you're probably the longest lasting girl we've had training. And how do you find the guys like in the beginning, and is it any different now than it was in the beginning? Yeah, it is different. Like, they would help you in the beginning, but they wouldn't really interact overly. They wouldn't make jokes with you, sort of thing. It's like, well, why would you try and get to know someone who you think's going to leave? Like, the girls that have come and gone, like, when they started, I'm like, oh my God, yes, more females. And then they leave, I'm just like, oh, okay.
That's great. So when other girls come, I see why. So, and then I treat the females the same way, kind of.
Well, I always tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, go like
I always tell you, yeah, when
Don't
another
scare
girl
them.
comes in, relax, yeah. She's not trying to invade your territory, yeah. Go easy, welcome her in. It's always, I don't know if it's just, like, I don't think, no, it is only you. Because we've got a couple of girls here that I don't have to tell them to relax, don't try and beat anyone up. Yeah, it is only you, yeah. Because you did, like you was like, I can someone my own size, someone my own gender, I can beat him up a bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit. There is a bit of alpha femaleness, but then
I'm the only girl here.
I actually looked it up on Google, and it is a thing.
Oh, it is.
It's what females do when other females come to their club. It's like, well, hang on, nuh-uh.
Oh, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And because I spent so long being the only female, when other females joined, I'm like, okay.
Oh, you think you can be the bird here? Okay. So that,
Yeah, but I was never horrible. It's just like, I'm just not going to be... I'm going to roll with them the same way I roll with the guys.
show him how it is. Show him who's boss. So we can look forward to you competing in 2019. Yeah.
Yep.
MMA and more. So you're going to do more jiu-jitsu. So I'm guessing you don't want to with jiu-jitsu. I'm guessing. I don't know. It's not always the way because the blue belt is the cursed belt. But do you see yourself progressing with jiu-jitsu, or do you just sort of again? I'm gathering from when I'm speaking to you about it that you don't maybe necessarily think about it too much. You just come train, done. See what kind of rolls off of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is the best attitude to have, because a lot of people go, no, I really want this and this and this and this and this. And sometimes it doesn't work out. And again, you focus on too much what's over here and not the journey to it, I think. And then you miss the opportunities, and you miss the crucial bits to get you there. So it's a good way of thinking, because it would be cool for you if you was my first female blue belt. It would be cool for you to be my first female black belt. Would be cool. Yeah. And again, I think they did a thing like where it's like, I don't know, let's just go with 1% of people that start jiu-jitsu end up with a black belt in jiu-jitsu. But I think that's probably changing now, because a lot of people are training now more, and it's a different way of training and this and that. But again, there's a lot less females doing it. So for a female to get the black belt, it's a lot hard, not necessarily harder, but it's a lot different, and there's a lot less of you doing it, right? I mean, now there's quite a few females running around. There's quite a few females that are black belts in jiu-jitsu. So the jiu-jitsu now is much more open for girls, and much more. There's many. I mean, how many female English female black belts? I think there's like what now? I think there's about maybe 3 or 4. 3 or 4 maybe.
Wow, that's little.
I think there's 3 or 4, but that goes to show you there's like 3 or 4, maybe 5 at a push, female, like British black belts. 5. So you're kind of still stuck. Not stuck, but you're in a position that we was maybe 20 years ago, where I'm training jiu-jitsu as a white belt, blue belt, and there's only 5 black belts in the country. But for you guys, there's tons of black belts, but there's only a handful of female black belts, right? Which is a good thing. You still got all the rest to draw from, but you know, you're still a minority, so to speak. So again, when you start competing in jiu-jitsu or start rising up the ranks, and then if you compete in MMA, you not only are fighting just because you want to test yourself and because of this and that, but you're one of the people that are trying to get the momentum of it here in this country. It's still in its infancy in this country. It's just growing worldwide, like in the UFC and stuff, but it's still very early days in this country. So you've kind of got like a bit of a like a burden to make sure that you do it correctly, so other people can. Because there's no one to. What I'm saying is there's no one really to inspire you. There's not that many people for you to look up to. So you've now got to be one of those people for people to look up to, sort of thing. You know what I mean? And I think as a female, I think that you shouldn't really worry about that, but you should be aware of that, because you have got to, you are setting trends, sort of thing. I think, which is a cool thing. I think it's really cool, and I like being a part of that. Helping. Like if you got, like you had a few girls come down and train. Yep, no problem. I'll try and facilitate as much as I can. But yeah, the only thing I can't facilitate is a female class, because there's like 4 of you.
It's fine.
5 of you.
Being in the mixed class is fine,
but yeah, I mean, so what would you say to the girls out there maybe watching, maybe thinking about training, or what advice would you give them to sort of pluck the courage, or even just make what would help them make the first step? What advice would you give?
If you really want to do it and you think about it a lot, just go for it. Just swallow your fear. Nothing bad's going to happen. You're not going to come out with broken bones. Like, they're not going to go hard on you if it's your first class. And if there's other females there, they're going to be friendly to you. They're not just going to like shun you or be a mean girl. Like the show? No? Yeah, so just go for it. That's what I can say. That's what I did. There is no formula for it.
Cool. Well, that's a good bit. So what was that? What did you just say? Follow your fear. Is that what you just said?
Swallow your fear.
Oh, swallow. Okay.
Follow.
I was going to say, a bit weird. Follow it. Where we going? No, but that's true. I mean, like, sometimes that's true. I follow. Don't back away from it. So that's valid.
I think fear can be good.
Valid thing.
Okay.
So that's good. I mean, so again, the advice, just being that you've been doing it 4 or 5 years now, it's good for you to give the advice. And what we do, we get you fighting, and then maybe we'll get you back on, see how it all went, and how that experience was like, and then hopefully you can inspire people to come and train. So, don't be scared of jumping in the gym, even if you're a female. Great advice. And obviously, if you want to come down to our gym down in Watford, then you're more than welcome. We do have a few girls here. Cherisse is past her alpha
phase,
alpha female phase. So you don't be scared. Don't be scared, homies. All right, so thank you very much, Cherisse, for sitting down with us and having a chat. I'm sure there's more stuff that we should have covered that people will point out, and if there is, we'll get you back on and chat a bit more, chew the fat a little bit more. Thank you very much.
Thank you.